SK Vibemaker.
It's another one. Myself, SK Vibemaker. My interviews are hotter. And you know we like to bring through the best special guests. We ain't changing tradition anytime soon. Now today in the virtual room, we have Birmingham. Miss LaFamilia. What's cracking?
Hey, what's good, guys?
Hey, what's going on though? It's definitely been a good time for you. And I don't say this to everybody, but you've been having a good old time the last couple of years, right?
I've had a little good run, haven't I? Yeah, definitely. I'm just getting into my swing, man. I'm just getting started.
Now, everyone knows you're from Birmingham, a particular part of Birmingham. And I know that there was, you never intend to be a rapper. You never intended to be a rapper all of the time. You got a modeling agency that you set up beforehand. You've definitely fell into music and you're definitely being taken seriously as a rapper now. How would you break down the last couple of years for you and the point in which you said, yes, I am a serious rapper now?
Okay, so when I first started music, it wasn't something I was trying to take serious. That's the reality. I around 2 years ago, there wasn't as many female artists as there is now. So what I think happened to me was I was just watching the game and I was just thinking to myself, something missing here, guys. So I thought, let me just try. Let me just put something out there and see what happens. And then, yeah, like I had my modeling agency, everything was going fine, but I felt like there was something missing. So I released a freestyle single thing on GRM, Addictive. And I think it got like 1 million views in 3 weeks. And I was just like, what is going on kind of thing. And then when that happened, I just kind of said to myself, like, you know what, maybe I'm in the wrong career. Maybe I should literally start taking this seriously, because at that time, I'm not a rapper. I didn't even know what 16 bars was or 32 bars. I was literally just following my tone, following the flow and the music and just seeing if I could do it. And yeah, and ever since then, I haven't really turned back. And it's mad because people always say like, oh, you sound like you've been rapping for years. And I'm just like, no, naturally, I'm a singer. That's my thing. That's where I feel comfortable. I've always sang from a very young age. So for me to now step into like the rapping side of things, like it has been challenging and getting people to accept me, this new me. But I feel like we've, as you said, the last 2 years has been very colourful for me. And I think people are starting to take me in now a bit more seriously.
Real talk. So if it wasn't for the numbers blowing up on that freestyle that you put out, like, and it was just like a tester, if it never blew up, would you say that you wouldn't have followed the music thing then? You would have just continued with the agency and maybe done something else?
Yeah. Like, see me, yeah, I'm a person, I don't like rejection. So it's like, you see, if I'm giving you guys something and you're not on it, I will not be on it. It's like that. So I will just like keep it moving. I'll find something else where it's working for me. But it was meant to be, because literally it was the first thing. It was such a basic video in my eyes. Like I never put a lot of effort into it. I just thought, you know what? If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And the reaction was sick. And I haven't turned back, really.
Every new artist doesn't come into the game like that with an explosion, with numbers. A lot of people are obsessed with numbers at the moment. You know what I'm saying? So with you coming in with those big numbers in those first few weeks, did you feel a sense of pressure? That's a good bar to have. But did you feel a sense of pressure? Because not everything's going to have that same reaction.
Yeah, because you know what it is? Then I started to take the music seriously. And then I started to like chase the dragon, like, okay, this has to drop and this has to get this amount. And then what I realized is I started to like focus on the number game too much. And that was because obviously I've been thrown into the deep end. I'm trying to chase 1 million views in 3 weeks every time. And I've learned the hard way and I've realized it's not always going to be like that. Some things will connect and some things won't connect. Do you know what I mean? And it's all in learning. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But there was a very big pressure for me that first year, like to try and keep the bar, you know? But that's why you shouldn't focus on numbers, because then you're ending up feeling like a certain way when you don't get the result that you want.
But we're in a digital world and we're definitely in a streaming world at the moment. And, you know, streaming has become very popular over the last few years. Everybody knows that. But how do you kind of not look at the numbers, though? How do you not look at the numbers? A lot of people base their certification off numbers. Yeah. And I'm not saying that I do. I'm not saying I base certification off numbers, because you got to listen with your ears and not your eyes. Yeah. But how do you tend to not focus on the numbers as a new artist?
Okay, so I'm really bad because I really do. Like, I'm always like updating, checking. Because I think as an artist, it's like we base that, even though we shouldn't, but we base it off how we're doing. Like, but the reality is sometimes it's bigger than our eyes can see. Sometimes we need to leave the numbers out and just realize that music's an energy in it. So the reality is we're just giving the energy and the music, and we need to let the music do what it needs to do. I think it's a bad habit of mine actually to keep checking, and but again, it's the pressure. Do you know what I mean?
You said that you didn't know about a 16 bar when you put out this first freestyle that blew up, the addictive freestyle. Just for the record, let's put it on record. And I don't feel like it's fair because a lot of guys or a lot of people ask female artists this, but do you write all your own rhymes?
Me? Yeah, I'm a writer. Yeah. Don't get twisted. Like, there's been situations where, people will put a writer in the room or like have a production team, and, people will be all in on the hook on certain things, but that's normal in the industry, but it's very taboo to talk about. However, I'm a person, I'm very open. Like, I have got loads of music I've written myself, and I have music that we've collaborated and made a banger. But it's like, the reality is I love my craft, and I like to be like hands-on with my craft because I know me better than anyone else. So how can someone write for me better than what I can write for myself? Do you understand? And that's my angle on it. I would never say no to a writer, but I would never ever, give my life and my career to someone else to handle. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Because it's my show and I'm running it. So I have to go down the direction that I want to go down. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Big Smoke. This is a song of yours. Big Smoke, big plans. What big smoke, big plans do you have in this music game?
So my big plans for the year, I'd say, is just releasing a major project to a point where people can't ignore it. Literally just a major project. We're calling the project Elements, and I'm calling it Elements because I literally am going to give you guys different sides to me, not only just with the versatility of the music, but just different characters, different side of me, like just a chance to show people more of me and a deeper inside. And that's going to be major for me. That's what I'm putting all my energy into, this summer. And then, hopefully the world opens up a bit more. We can get the festivals and shows back on, and then that's when I can really connect with the audience and the fans, and
Now, I like to pick up on lines. Now, on Big Smoke, you say, F a heart on my sleeve, in my pee is where my heart be. Now, that's a cold line, but that sounds like maybe you're heartless when it comes to relationships. Is this how Miss LaFamilia is? Are you a bit of a heartbreaker?
You know what? I'm not, I'm not going to lie. I'm not. I'm actually like, I'm quite loving. I'm quite gentle. Do you know what I mean? I think Miss LaFamilia is my egotistical self. Obviously, it's work, and you're not the same person at work that you are at home. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Have different sides. Remember, I'm a mother as well. So, like, I'm raising a little boy, so I have to also be mindful of the energy I carry around him as well. So this diva that I am, when I'm performing, working, whatever, like when I'm at home, I'm a different person. So respectfully, yeah.
Well, just picking up on what you said there, being a businesswoman, running a modeling agency, being an artist, how do you manage to juggle the showbiz music life and the parenting, being a mother to a young son? How do you do that? How much of a challenge is it?
It is very hard. However, it's also very easy because at the same time, when something is meant for you, things just fall into place, and it's never by force. So when schooling was getting a bit much, I decided to take him out. We do homeschool now. And like, it's just a balance of like, you have to find a balance, what works for you. Everyone, it's going to be different for everyone else, but my balance and work life is like, it took it a minute to get to this point, but now it's finally at a place where it's cool, it's at peace, and everything's fine. And it's just the time. The only problem I have is literally just the time. The busier I've become, obviously the less time I have doing like family things and, you know, extracurricular stuff that I want to do for myself. I'm just fully work mode right now.
Now, being a musician, it can be tricky being a parent, not just juggling your life with their life and, you know, sharing your life with their life and that, but also your music's not PG, you know what I'm saying? It's not like fluffy, it's not all clean, like some daytime stuff. It's got radio edits which make it cleaner. But how much do you censor what your son listens to? Some parents don't care letting their young children listen to anything. You know what I'm saying? They let them listen to everything, and some parents don't let them listen to anything explicit. How do you take it, man, when it comes to your son listening to music?
I'm quite, I wouldn't say I'm quite strict, but I to be honest, you see my son, he's an old soul. He likes Michael Jackson, like old school people. Like, he would never be like on his iPad on YouTube listening to a little baby or like he's not really like that, which I'm glad, because I don't have to do a lot of censoring, because he actually chooses to listen to old school music. So it's like, that's one thing I don't have to battle with. But I am very censored wise with, like, I don't allow him to have like TikTok or anything like that. He asks me all the time and I'm just like, no,
it's not that.
No.
So you kind of touched on it before about Miss LaFamilia being the diva side of you, you know what I mean? Workload. But how much does the real you know what I mean, when the lights, camera, action are off, compare to Miss LaFamilia and life before music? Talk to us about Miss LaFamilia before music.
Okay, so before music, I was just this why the mother of the mob. I call myself the mother of the mob. Was just, I've always been like that central point for
the
a
boss,
lot of people. I'm not going to be a self-proclaimed boss, but I would say mother of the mob, because I was just that one person that I would centralize a lot of things. I'd make things happen, and a lot of people had trusted me and like faith in me, and you know, I was always that person. So it's like, from being that person to then jumping in the music to be like, oh, everyone, I'm this person. It's like, I'm trying to let everyone know I'm good. But you see, in the industry, it's like, where you come from? Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's very cliquey. It's very cliquey. So I had, at the beginning, I had like a struggle fitting in, because I know I'm good people's. It's like, you know, when you do music, people don't really care about that. It's like, you either got bangers and, you know the right people, or it's just very cliquey. And I've just decided that I'm just going to give everyone me, and you're either going to like it or you're not. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I'm always going to, even before music, I've been the same. I carry the same energy. Like, I make it happen. Do you know what I mean? Whatever I do. So, yeah.
Now, you grew up in Birmingham in a place called Winston Green, right?
Winston Green, yeah.
Winston Green. Now, you know, there's many people that are going to watch this and hear this interview that might not know Birmingham or Winston Green in particular. Now, paint a picture. Give us a bit of a tour guide of Winston Green and what it was like growing up there.
Winston Green was challenging for me, you know, very challenging for me. And I was there until I was 15, 16. And it was a very, I'd say, violent place to be. It was a very, you know, it was poverty, innit? That's where I've come from. So that's what I grew up around. Even in school, like, I just never had the best start in life. Do you understand? So even though now when I look back, it was all doom and gloom, it's like I wouldn't change it, because that's why I am the way I am. Do you get it? And, you know, I am like testimony to people that grow up in these areas, and people always look down on them and think, oh, they ain't ish. Or, you know, it's like, no, you can be. You just have to work hard enough. Do you know what I mean? To make it out of that place. So I love where I've come from, to be honest, because it's just, I am strong because of the area, you know.
Because of the ends that you grew up in. I mean, growing up in such a gritty environment, inner city life, many of us do, many don't. How easy or how much of a challenge was it to stray the path of those gritty streets and not get too consumed in it? Because, you know, people get trapped in that and go down the
Don't
pit.
get it twisted. I'm not going to act like I'm perfect. You know, we've definitely had a colourful past, and, you know, we've definitely been knee deep. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But the reality is, it's learning when to want better for yourself. It's everyone has that awakening at a different time in their life. And luckily my mum was supportive enough to move me out of the area at 16 when it was really getting, you know, peak. We moved out. But the thing is, you can take the girl out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of the girl. And that's what I was battling with in my early, like my teenage years, even into my 20s. Like I've had to have I just woke up and I just realized that this ain't it. You know what I'm trying to say.
Now, you know, you had the big song Bonjour Sava with Shabo, which definitely blew up and definitely done numbers. And I heard like rumors, and I don't think it's true, but some people thought you was Asian at one point. Obviously Bonjour Sava is French. Break down your heritage, man, your mix and stuff, like where your parents from and that.
Yeah, so my heritage is a bit complicated. So we have Jamaican, we have Spanish background, we have Indian, and we've also got Irish. Do you know what I mean? So it's just a bit mixed up. All my grandparents are from different places, different countries, which I'm blessed to have. So yeah, I do have Asian in me. I'm not full Asian. I'm just mixed. I tell people I'm mixed. Like I have different grandparents from different places. Like it's just absolutely insane. And yeah, like it's a blessing. It is a blessing. But I do have a lot of people that are very unsure of like where I'm from, where my mom's from, where my dad's from. And then when I done the work mode song, I had a lot of people thinking I was Albanian because I mentioned them in the chorus. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But I've got one of them faces where you look and you're thinking, what is she? Do you know what I'm trying to say? But yeah, no, I'm just mixed.
You recently signed a big record deal with Universal Island Records just for the single Dumb Flex. That was your first single on the major label, right?
Yes.
How has it been, like, you know, being an independent artist and making a transition to being signed to a major label? How have you found it from, you know, being on the outside now on the inside of a major label?
Yeah, well, it's sick to have like a proper team and everyone working for you, like behind the scenes, making everything perfect. The only thing I would say is just a bit sad that I've signed in this pandemic. Do you know what I mean? Because now, like, this interview right here, right now, we could have done this face to face. And then there's like, there's no shows, there's this and that. So it's like, it's kind of just very restricted right now, but it is amazing. And it is definitely a beautiful thing to have like a team working hard to make sure I'm giving everyone the most amazing results. So yeah, big up Ireland, definitely.
You kind of mentioned it earlier about noticing that the music industry can be quite cliquey, and in all fields of work throughout the world, you know what I'm saying? You could be at a football team, like playing football. You could be working in retail. You could be even working in a library. There's going to be people that gravitate to each other. Sometimes in the music industry, when you're signed, you get people that see you part of the get along gang and, you know, swarm along, whereas they weren't cool with you before, weren't paying no attention to you before. But bottom line is the music industry can be very cliquey. Now, when it comes to Miss LaFamilia, do you find yourself more being part of the get along gang, or do you see yourself more as a lone wolf?
I would see myself as a lone wolf, only because I always say that I don't really feel the support from the industry. There's 1 and 2 members that have gone out their way to show me they're rocking with me. Other than that, it's very limited. But I like to just focus on the people that do show me support, do you know what I mean? And like my fans, my supporters, and they keep me up, do you know what I mean? And as you said, eventually all these other people, they will come around once it's at that point, do you know what I mean? But my kind of thing is like, if you're not showing support as I'm building, then don't wait for me to blow and act like you've always supported, do you know what I mean? It's not realistic. And this is why I always show people support. Any up and coming artists, I will follow them, I will comment, I will support, I will show them, because I never had that really. Do you know what I mean? So it's nice to just give people a different vibe to what I had when I first started.
It's been well documented, your online back and forth with SteffLon. Some people love all of that. Some people hate it. Do you know what I'm saying? You were definitely friends before you were doing music, is what I hear, what people say. What's the status of your quarrel at the moment, man? Like, what is it? Are we getting anywhere close to you lot being cool? Is there any talks of maybe future music? Where are we at with it, man?
There's no quarrel as such. I think it was literally just put to bed where it was. And to be honest, what I've noticed is the media always like to hype up people, like not like females against each other. And the reality is, I don't want to do that no more because there's not enough support. And yeah, we've had our differences and whatever, but it is what it is. And I think everyone's got bigger fish to fry at the moment. And I just believe moving forward that there's not a lot of females, and we should actually stick together more than argue as such. That's the vibe I'm on right now.
Straight up. It's something that I've spoken about with a lot of female artists and female rappers in particular, about these industry energies that seem to want to pit the female artists against each other. So you've noticed a lot of that as you've stepped in the music game then, yeah? How have you dealt with that?
It's all learning, isn't it? So you'll be in a situation and you'll realize, oh, okay, this is what it really is. Like, you always hear about it, but then when you're actually in the situation, you start to feel the energies and see people, and it's just best to just keep yourself to yourself, your head down. And if there's a female around you that's doing something, whatever, just more take them on as a sister and don't see them as competition, because there's not many of us. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Now, a hot topic that I've been speaking to a lot of female artists about is the music industry sexualizing female artists. Bad B culture, pressures to sexualize their music and possibly have body surgery. Now, have you felt any of those energies in the music industry, to have any of those things, overly sexualize your music, be more of a bad B, or have body surgery or anything like that?
No, I haven't felt that. I'm naturally just sexual anyway. I believe women should just be free and be whoever they want to be. Don't take no pressure. And yeah, I haven't felt that. I'm literally just living in my own world, and I wouldn't even take that advice anyway. Me being me. Like, there will be people that will be pressured to be something that they're not. And I'll just say, you just follow yourself, what you want to do. Otherwise, if you're going to start changing now, then they're going to change who you are. And that's not really being realistic to yourself. Do you know what I mean? If you're not sexy as a person in general, then don't start thinking you have to be sexy to get views, because people can see through it. You know what I mean? Just be you. If you want to wear a hoodie, wear a hoodie. You know what I'm trying to say? It's not about that. We need to bring it back to the music, to the ear, and what's really actually, sounding good rather than how it's looking.
Creating and running a modeling agency isn't something that you hear a lot of artists are actively doing. Do you know what I'm saying? How's it been running a modeling agency, and how much of a challenge is it to protect the girls that are part of the agency as well?
So it was a challenge, very challenging. And it taught me a lot. And even with the girls, I would always be like a mother to them and just try and guide them down the right path. She used to say to them, you can either come, we can work, we can make money, or you can mess around. You can be typical stigma model that everyone, has in the UK anyway, or you can actually be serious and you can do this thing. And that's what people don't really know. I was very, not strict, but I was very on top of my members that were part of my team, very on top. Keep in a ship shape, has to be, one person on the team that is sliding to the left, we'll go left. So, yeah.
And reputations happen and all that kind of stuff, and it goes all mad.
Yeah, so we have to be careful, and it is difficult working with a lot of females. It's difficult. Yeah.
So your debut project, Elements. How much experimentation are we going to get on the project? How true is it going to be to the music that we've heard so far from you? And what would you kind of tell people about the project before they press play on it?
So with the project, the reason why I'm calling it Elements is because I want to try and every single song, I want it to have different vibe, a different element. So I want it to be mind-blowing, as in raw, so much versatility. I want it to be whoa, okay, that's the vibe I'm going with. Every time you press play on a different track, it's going to take you to a different place. That's the plan with that.
Straight up, man. So you're going to be experimenting a lot then? There's going to be some stuff on there that people are going to hear that they're going to be like, wow, I did not expect that from Miss LaFamilia.
Yeah, definitely.
With the UK drill sound popping, a few of the female artists in the UK have been running with this Queen of Drill title, trying to run for that title and saying I'm the Queen of Drill and all that kind of stuff. Are you bothered about that? Are you running for that title?
No, they can keep that. because if respectfully, you know, everyone in their own has a right to feel like they are what they are. And if they feel like they're the queen of drill, then we hand that to them. Take it. I feel like I'm the mother of the mob. I'm going to keep it. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Mm-hmm. Everyone's got their thing inside that they feel like they are. And that's fine. We need it. As female artists, we need the alter ego. Do you get it? As I said to you earlier, we can't be this person every single day. Like, no, it's an ego. It's for work. We go home. So if queen of drill, this makes them feel more, then I feel like it's a perfect, I don't see the problem with everyone competing for that title. It will make them more hungry. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I'm competing with myself. Mm-hmm. So it's like, that's my biggest opposition, competition. I want to be a better version of me all the time. And this is why I've just called myself mother of the mob, because this is, you know, there's levels.
Who's the UK female artist or UK female MC or rapper which most inspired you, man?
Do you know who I love? Who I think so dope?
I think I know who you're going to say, but go on. I
don't know if you do, you know. It's a shocker. But I am literally such a big fan of IMDDB.
Oh, okay. She's artist.
Dope. Mm-hmm. She's very dope.
She seems like she doesn't really get the love.
Yes. Yes. And like, I hear her music. And to me, again, it's just too big for England. It's the UK. There's certain music you hear and it's like you just automatically think international, and I just think she has a sick vibe. And I believe she's going to come back and do major things. I like Georgia Smith, love her. I like Alakai Harley, love her. Amaria BB, I don't know if I always pronounce her name funny. Amaria, she's a singer. She is, I think, one of the UK's biggest gems, but you should seriously tap into her because she is another level. And she's a young girl as well, very young. I think she's one of the UK's biggest artists that haven't blown yet, but she is, yeah.
What about legacy acts then, like old school artists, like when you was growing up, maybe in your teens, that inspired you?
Miss Dynamite, like, even like, it's just crazy because when you think like growing up, there wasn't a lot of females really back in the day. Like, you know, like Mystique, Miss Dynamite, Estelle. Like, I don't think people give them their flowers enough, man, because they really did pave the way.
There weren't a lot, man. I just have to shout out to Baby Blue as well, because people don't either remember her or they just don't give her credit. But I thought Baby Blue was dope as well. You know what I'm saying? But that's me. Yeah. So Dumb Flex is definitely the song that you've launched off with this year. You and Abracadabra on the original. What's the biggest Dumb Flex that you've been on, man, the last year or so?
The biggest Dumb Flex would be for me. So I flew my mom and my son out to Dubai with me, and we stayed there for like 2 months, and we just literally, we just lived major. We lived crazy. And actually, I was taking a break off social media. So I was actually out there for so long. I didn't post anything. It was just nice to just be living without posting. A lot of people fly and do things just to get their phone out. And it was just nice to just do the opposite and just be there and just like deplug and just relax and just recoup. And, you know, that was my biggest
Dumb Flex.
Yeah.
How's it been working with Abracadabra? How did that happen?
Yeah, so I just sent him the track and I just said, yo, like, I know you definitely going to fit this, your voice, your tone, everything. And he heard it straight away and he was like, yeah, this is dope. And then, yeah, it just happened so naturally. And I loved what he done with the track. It was everything that I expected him. Yeah.
It's been another one. Myself, SK Vibemaker. My interviews are hotter. Rinse FM with Miss LaFamilia.
SK Vibemaker.